So as more and more streamers are actually able to make streaming a career path, it becomes more and more of a dream job that people aspire to. And this means that streaming, it's harder to maintain as a hobby because you're always going to think, should you make this a career? Now, a lot of videos out there will tell you about how to make the ultimate streaming setup or how to get more viewers and monetize your streams. But what I want to talk about is the cost of streaming, not just the costs that are going to clear out your savings building a crazy streaming setup, but more of the intangible costs that kind of build up over time. So let's get into that in this edition of The Grind. So we live in a weird time where technology-wise, the barrier to entry on streaming is lower than ever. You can stream from any device. Your phone can stream, your console can stream. You don't even need a good PC anymore. You can use hardware encoders. As long as you have like a decent GPU, not even a crazy good GPU, just one with a hardware encoder, you can start a good high quality stream. But at the same time, there's like this weird pivot to needing high production values for streams. Like IRL streams went from a person with a cell phone, maybe with a charging brick to keep the cell phone powered up, to IRL backpacks and, high-end cameras hooked up to these backpacks. Streaming setups, which, used to be just a webcam and a USB microphone. They can cost almost as much as buying a car these days with 2 PC setups and broadcast microphones and, high-end mixers and all these crazy graphics and effects. And there's also the extra costs that you might not think about. There could be paying someone to design your overlays, maybe paying your moderators in the future, paying for electricity. And with all these costs, it can get really hard to recoup your investment or break even or even cover your costs from month to month. Only those few get to that point where they're making money from streaming and they're making a living off it. And the truth is those people that are at that point, they didn't necessarily, have the greatest streaming setups. A lot of the best streamers you see, maybe only recently their streaming setup has really leveled up and looked a lot nicer. And that's because they focused on what actually brings people to the stream, which is the content, making something entertaining that people want to watch, right? But then comes the question like, okay, well, how do I develop this content? How do I get this content? How do I make it good? How do I make people want to watch it? Well, then that comes into the second main cost of streaming. All right, so let's talk about the next cost of streaming, which is time. So it takes a long time to learn how to stream, how to get good at streaming, and how to get your content developed and get it out there. I mean, just learning how to stream, there's no course or university you can take that'll teach you how to stream. You have to go find YouTube tutorials, to test the software out, see what works, see what doesn't, and then comes developing your content. There's figuring out like, what do people enjoy? What do you enjoy doing? And doing it as much as possible, because the truth is streaming is a grind. All these platforms are based on watch time. Watch time is basically the amount of time people are watching your stream, because the longer they're watching your stream, the more ads can be served to them. The more ads can be served to them, or the more money the platforms can make. So a sweet spot for streaming is about 4 hours. You want to stream at least 4 hours each stream. But if you look at some of the most popular streamers, they're streaming 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day, because they know for a lot of people, there's a very small window will you be quote unquote relevant. And when you reach that high point where you're getting thousands of viewers, you need to maximize that as much as possible, because there will become a point where that viewership will move on to the next streamer, the next trend, unless you keep up with that. So that's a lot for any working adult. That's a lot of time to invest to stream the content that much and, put yourself out there day after day. And the truth is, it doesn't even end per se when the stream goes offline. If you're a new up-and-coming streamer, as soon as you go offline, you gotta go manage your community, go in your Discord chats, say hi to everyone, thank everyone for stopping by. You gotta go network with other streamers so you can build new audiences. You gotta make your social media posts, make clips to post online and try to go viral. There's so much stuff that you have to do, and then you have to prep for the next stream, and then you gotta work and find time to sleep. So it's a huge time investment. And you got to be willing to make that time investment if you want to shift this from a hobby to something that you do full time. If you don't, it's fine. It can be just a hobby, just chill, just have fun with it, learn new tricks here and there. But just know that that's a bare minimum, and there's no easy path unless you get lucky and you have a clip that goes viral. But even then, you need to maximize that time and maximize your 15 minutes or 15 hours of stream fame that you can. But if you need to save some time, XSplit Broadcaster actually has some tools to help you out. So instead of looking for your stream key and setting all these streaming settings, you can log into your account. XSplit will automatically configure it. Setting up scenes is super easy. Automatic game source, and there's lots of built-in transitions. And there's even like an in-game overlay, so if you don't have to exit out of your game to switch scenes. And you can use macros too. Macros actually automate a bunch of stuff, like you can go live at a certain time using a macro. I made a whole video about how you can set up macros, and you should check it out with the link above. And also too, like if you wanna, level up your production quality, like with your camera, you can use XSplit VCam. Blur out your background, remove your background. It's all there with XSplit VCam. And the good thing is that all this is free. It's free to start with. So you can try this out, tweak your stream, make it look nice, and see if it's for you, and see if you want to transition from making it a hobby into something that's a career. So I can say, as someone that has come from both ends of the spectrum here, I definitely put too much time broadcasting stuff that I wasn't super passionate about. And I definitely sunk way too much money into building a completely overkill stream setup that, I didn't really need for the content I was putting out. But at the end of the day, I have made a career somewhat out of streaming, just not out of how I thought I was going to do it from streaming. And I still have streaming as a hobby. I still like figuring out how to do different things on a stream. So it's still fun to me. And I think that's really important. Like, no matter what you want to do with streaming, it always has to be fun. It always has to be enjoyable, or else you'll stop doing it. But I want to know from you, like, how long have you been streaming, and do you still enjoy streaming? And how much have you spent on your streaming equipment? What's been the most expensive piece of equipment that you might not have used? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching this video. Like and share it if it was helpful. And be sure to subscribe for more ways to stay on the grind.